Welcome to the 2017 AquaX Pro Enduro Championship right here in the fabulous Daytona Beach. This is round one in a series of 6 races that start and finish in Florida, with one smack dab in the middle in downtown Chicago. Last year was a ferocious battle between multi-time world champ Chris MacClugage and world #1 Aero Aswar, with both racers pushing it right to the limit and sometimes past it.
Here we go with MacClugage. MacClugage working his way down the back straightaway. Oh, high sides it. Look out, MacClugage in the drink. And that is very uncharacteristic of the GOAT. Aswar still in that second place position. Oh, and Aswar goes down right at the start-finish line. Aswar swimming right now.
When it came down to the final round in Fort Lauderdale, it was veteran MacClugage who dominated the weekend to take yet another title and his first AquaX Pro Enduro Championship.
Chris MacClugage, he'll pull a hat trick here this weekend.
So you have a lot of different world titles, but what did it mean to take home the AquaX World Championship?
Well, you know, with this sport, I've won a lot of different championships and different styles, but to come race in Florida where I grew up racing, it's where it all started, and to have a series like this, it's, you know, the biggest one going and the most professionally run. To win the AquaX series is a big thing for me.
So a very confident champion, but it certainly isn't going to be easy with some of the world's top racers ready to take his crown. It's our usual 3-race format. That's 2 today and 1 tomorrow, and our racers are heading out on the water now. Over to our commentator, Mikey Young.
Riders being staged. MacClugage wishing everybody good luck. He was last year's champion. Today competing on the Yamaha FX SVHO. Taking a look at course conditions, wind speed right around 10 miles an hour. Not causing too many problems for these riders in practice. Taking a look at our course out there, our start run. We've got a long back straightaway starting from the south side of Daytona, coming up into a big sweeper, obviously a couple chicanes, in about this mile-long track. Well, the riders have been staged as the green flag up and down. We are off and away. The start of P1 AquaX 2017 here from Daytona Beach. Jumping out to an early lead, it looks like the Clipper, Mike Klippenstein on the Yamaha GP 1800. A lot of the riders debuting that boat here this weekend in Daytona. Look out, here comes Ian Tosca. Ian Tosca, boat number 94. We'll go ahead and credit him with the hole shot. Taking a look out, your top 3 right now. Ian Tosca out in front as we go on board with Brian Baldwin, boat number 782. Baldwin was a points leader coming into the final 2 rounds last season. And MacClugage able to shut the door there on Ian Tosca. Ian Tosca not giving up on the Sea-Doo RXPX 300. And they are 3 wide as we get ready to come down the front straightaway. It's MacClugage, Ian Tosca, and Rios after a 5-year hiatus. Great to have Nicholas Rios back out here on the track. Aswar, the current world points leader, as he airs it out here in the Daytona Surf. Uh-oh, aired it out just a little too much as he goes for a swim, showing us his best imitation of Michael Phelps. Taking a look here, what happened to Aswar? Gets up and over the wave, but comes down a little bit hard and just sinks it. Last lap, white flag is out. Only about half lap to go here for the Mac attack as you see him working his way along the back straightaway. Rios still in a solid second on boat number 217, and Ian Tosca doing the best for Sea-Doo right now. Chris MacClugage will be your winner for race number 1 here at P1 AquaX. As we take a look at our results, MacClugage took first. He'll take 25 points with him. Nicholas Rios in second. Herminio Ian Tosca in third. Francis Sorel Lamone in fourth. Brian Baldwin and Eric Francis rounds out your top 6.
A great win for MacClugage in race 1, and the guys are headed out on the water for race 2. Over to Mikey Young.
As the green flag gets ready to drop, boom, we are off and away. 29:53 plus 1 lap to go. I'm taking a look right now at MacClugage. MacClugage sticks it. Oh, and look at that. Baldwin right over the back and takes off the whole back half of his boat, including his seat. So MacClugage right now going to have to ride 30 minutes without a seat, without sinking the boat. Let's take a look at that again and slow it down. MacClugage stops right there, and it looks like Baldwin just going right over the top. And if MacClugage doesn't scoot up on that boat, then he is toast. However, able to come out of it unscathed, Aksa Aswar will be competing this weekend on his Yamaha GP 1800, and he's sponsored by BNI Bank out of Jakarta, Indonesia. MacClugage still maintaining that first place position though, but it's going to be a long ride without sitting down. As he takes a look behind him, oh, and as he took a look behind him, looks like he unhinged his lanyard. Is going to have to do his homework to get back into the lead of this one. The Eagle, Eric Francis, overtaken MacClugage right there, along with Baldwin. And both riders, Francis and Baldwin, took the penalty buoy, and that's going to mix things up a little bit as MacClugage advances back into that second place position. Francis, still your leader. And here comes MacClugage on the outside, and look at that, MacClugage just motors by Francis. It's a battle of attrition. It's the old lion and the young tiger going at it. Once again, Francis moving into the lead. Francis being the young tiger. MacClugage at 43 years of age, one of the oldest in the field out here. But I'll tell you what, he's like a fine wine. This kid gets better with age. Chris MacClugage, boat number 46. 30 minutes and not being able just to sit down and take a short pause for the cause. Now able to motor by Francis again. Look at this. What a race we got going on. 8 lead changes so far in this one. As Francis once again gets past MacClugage, let's make it 9. Here comes MacClugage. MacClugage will have position on the inside. So Eric Francis still in first place position. MacClugage in second. Baldwin in third on the 782. Couple more lappers in front of your race leader. Oh, and look, your race leader goes down. His helmet comes off, loses his lanyard. Holy smokes. Francis, he's going to have to go back and pick up that helmet if he wants to continue to race. I think the course marshal's right there to assist. And take a look at the Mac Attack, the GOAT, taking it home here in moto number 2. The checkered flag is out, and Chris MacClugage 2 for 2 in 2017. As we go to our leaderboard, and it's MacClugage, second place Francis, third place was Aero Aswar, fourth place Herminio Iantasca, Aksa Aswar in fifth, and Marcus Jorgensen from Denmark in sixth.
Yeah, someone tried taking me out in the first turn, cracked my boat pretty good. All the way over here, I'll send a bill to the Riva rider that did it, I think, but no, I don't care. It's racing, I still won, I had a great time, I'm safe, that's all that matters.
So 2 wins in a row for dominant MacClugage. Can he make it 3? Let's see what he can do. Over to Mikey Young.
For the third and final moto, however, one racer visibly absent, that's Nicholas Rios, the fighter.
2 laps before the end, I did a bad landing on the wave, and then my butt hit the seat really hard, and I compressed a vertebrae and a disc. It's very difficult for me to walk or put my socks on this morning, so for sure I'm not going to be able to ride.
All right, third and final moto. Here we go with Pro Enduro as our riders are being staged. And here we go. Green flag has dropped. Taking a look out there, it is Eric Francis, though, the Eagle, who is grabbing the whole shot. He's got Iantasca, boat number 94, on his right side, MacClugage on his left side. And it looks like it's going to be Francis, Baldwin, MacClugage, and Iantasca, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Great look as we're on board here with Herminio Iantasca. And MacClugage going to challenge Francis right now. Gets a little bit of flat water. And Francis hitting the wave, not keeping that pump hooked up. And MacClugage looks like he moves into the lead, working from the inside. Working their way north. Francis with a pole in the water this time. Now he's trying to reel in MacClugage. Uh-oh, and his lanyard popped. So 911 has a 911 right there. Uh-oh, and MacClugage gets together. Boom, side by side, and I think he got his chocolate and his peanut butter. A holy Reese Cup minute, Batman, as you see in slow-mo. MacClugage able to hold on. Chris MacClugage, he's followed by Baldwin and Aswar on 119. And here comes MacClugage again. Down the front straightaway in front of a great crowd here in Daytona Beach. The checkered flag comes up for MacClugage and drops. There he goes. He pulls a hat trick this weekend. Taking a look at our championship points. Chris MacClugage with 75, Francis with 42, Aswar with 39, Herminio Iantasca with 39 points, Jorgensen with 31, and Baldwin with 30.
So that's it for our weekend full of action here in Daytona Beach. That'll be 3 wins for MacAttack. We'll do it all again in St. Pete.
Francis loses his helmet. Oh no, Chessier gets the worst of that exchange. And MacClugage pulls a hat trick here in Daytona.
Beautiful St. Pete Beach hosts the world's best jet ski riders for round 2 of the AquaX Pro Enduro Tour. So Eric, you were Mr. Kawasaki and you joined the crowds on Yamaha. How is that?
I'd have to say it's probably the best move I've ever done in my career. It's a bit scary, you know, changing to a totally different craft, but, you know, thanks to Riva and Scott Watkins at Yamaha, they made it as easy as it could be.
Brian, you made the switch from Dean's team to Riva. Has that been positive for you?
It's been really good. I get more focus on me, which, you know, I need some of that sometimes. So, you know, they've really focused on helping me out in all areas. So it's been really good.
The riders are heading out to race 1. Let's go over to Mikey.
Thank you, Deanna. It's a great day here in St. Pete Beach as the world's top riders get ready to do battle here in the Gulf of Mexico. Riders will start from the far north. There'll be 6 turns before they can go past that front straightaway, which will give them the checkered flag and the finish line. And here we go. Nicholas Rios takes a look, flag drops, and we are off and away. 30 minutes plus a lap. On board with the fighter, Nicholas Rios, riding for Beach Shack Rentals. Baldwin eyeballing that hole shot, and here we go. Looks like Brian Baldwin, riding for Champion Motorsports, and Riva Racing will go ahead and grab the first hole shot here in race number 1. So it's Brian Baldwin, followed by MacClugage. And taking a look a little further back, I believe that's Abdullah Al-Fadel on the Dean's Team Yamaha. Taking a look through MacClugage's goggles right now. Third place, a big battle going on. Rios now able to get past. So Nicholas Rios has moved past Al-Fadel. Al-Fadel in the 4th spot. He's to pick out with that pink helmet out there. And here comes MacClugage. MacClugage on the outside. Look at this. MacClugage now able to get past Baldwin. Really be able to make it stick. Baldwin has position as they come into the turn. And MacClugage just gets out the broom and sweeps hard. And MacClugage, looks like he loses his lanyard. Baldwin able to go by on the left-hand side. So Brian Baldwin moves back into the lead. MacClugage gets hooked back up, still stays in that 2nd place position. The checkered flag will come out, and that'll do it. Race number 1 belongs to the tweaker, Brian Baldwin. Baldwin, MacClugage, Nicholas Rios, Eric Francis, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the 2 Frenchmen, 5th and 6th, Francois Midori and Cyril Lemon. Again, 25 riders, no breaks. First turn, it is going to be hairy, ladies and gentlemen. And Victor Nolan out toward the front right now, the Nolanator out of Baltimore, Maryland. Glad to have him with us here this weekend as MacClugage gets ready to tuck it in here and grab a hole shot. That'll be his 2nd hole shot of the weekend on that Monster Energy Broward Motorsports Yamaha. Looks like he's got Baldwin right behind him, and the fighter, Nicholas Rios, currently sitting in the 3rd spot. So Chris got a whole team of folks with him. Chris has a problem. Looks like he pulled a lanyard again. Had that same problem in the first moto, and he better hurry up or Rios is going to be able to get by, and Rios looks like he is able to get by. A great ride being had by Nicholas Rios out there. Again, coming off that back injury, and you got to wonder if that back's bothering him at all. Down the front straightaway one final time, and you can see the arm is in the air, and the Frenchman is visibly excited. Here in St. Pete, congratulations, Nicholas Rios taking his first AquaX victory. Taking a look, it was Nicholas Rios, your winner, followed by MacClugage, Francis in 3rd, Baldwin in 4th, the Clipper out of Canada in 5th, and Francois Midori rounds out your top 6.
Unbelievable ride from the Frenchman, incredible after his back injury. Another race, another winner.
And here we go, green flag is dropped. We are off and away, 30 minutes plus a lap to glory here in St. Pete this weekend. Eric Francis again piloting the Yamaha GP 1800, sponsored by Dave's Auto Body and Riva Racing. And Ian Tosca gives way to Francis, so it's going to be MacClugage, followed by Francis. Baldwin also up in the mix there as we go on board with Brian Baldwin, who's also on the Yamaha GP 1800, sponsored by Riva Racing. So again, taking a look, Francis now side by side with MacClugage. MacClugage darts back ahead of Francis, but Francis putting in a heck of a show right there. As Francis this time will try the outside, picks up the broom, sweeps hard, and now able to get past MacClugage. Nicholas Rios is pulling off the track. So a tough break there for Nicholas Rios, who had the points lead coming into this one. Ladies and gentlemen, how about it? Eric Francis makes it happen. As you can see, the arm going up in the air, and this kid has got to be stoked. Let's take a look at how things shook out. It was Eric Francis in first, MacClugage in second, Brian Baldwin in third, Herminio Iantosca in fourth, the Clipper in fifth, and Chris Saxon rounds out your top six. Boat number 46 with the checkered flag, though. He'll get the overall win for the weekend, and that's 4 weekends in a row dating back to Lake Worth for the Mac Attack.
2-2-2, consistency won the weekend. You know, I didn't get my dad anything because I'm a tight ass. I got 3 kids and stuff. No, I'm just kidding. I just, this is what I want to give my dad for Father's Day. So come here, Dad. Yeah, this victory is for you, Dad. Happy Father's Day. I love you.
So far in the P1 Aquacross USA Championship, MacClugage with 129 points. He's your leader, followed by Eric Francis with 95, 83 for Baldwin, 62 for Iantosca, 58 for Rios, and 54 for the Clipper. It's time to celebrate here in St. Pete.
A great win for MacClugage. Next up, the Aquacross Pro Tour moves to Sarasota for the 4th of July celebrations. The Sarasota Grand Prix weekend is something special, with huge crowds, a block party, and a boat parade. And over to Mikey.
Here we go as the riders are starting to be staged for race number 1 here in Sarasota. Just take a look at our course real quick. It's going to be a 2-mile course. Got 7 buoys out there. You'll see they'll start from the far south. They'll work their way north and come through, and the finish line is right out in front here of the Lido Beach Resort. As again, riders being staged at the far south end of the track as we view it here from the beautiful Lido Beach Resort. And here we go with the race start. The green flag is up in the air. Once it drops, we'll be on our way. 25 minutes plus a lap, and Eric Francis getting a great jump. As we take a look out, Chris Saxon, one of the rookies out there on the number 71 Yamaha. He comes to us from Orange Beach, Alabama. Chris MacClugage, Eric Francis, Herminio Iantosca also up there in the mix. So again, taking a look out here in lap number 1, it looks like MacClugage out in front with Iantosca in second, Baldwin in third. A great view of Sarasota in the background as these racers try to keep them pumps hooked up as they work their way down the back straightaway. Again, it's still MacClugage, your race leader, followed by Iantosca and Baldwin. As we go on board with Brian Baldwin. Back on board with your leader, Chris MacClugage. And MacClugage really working that Dean's Team Monster Energy Yamaha. And uh-oh, look out. He's got issues. Chris MacClugage is dead in the water, and it looks like he may have a mechanical issue as your leaders go by. That is Iantosca, your new race leader, followed by Baldwin. Only about a second and a half between first and second place. And uh-oh, Eric Francis also with an issue out there. So you got 2 Riva pilots running 1 and 2 right now, and I bet that puts a big grin on the face of Dave Bamdis, one of the owners of Riva Racing and the team manager. So again, your race finished, the checkered flag comes out, and it is going to be Herminio Iantosca. Iantosca putting Sea-Doo on top of the box for the first time in 2017. It's Iantosca. He'll take home the 25 points. Brian Baldwin in second, Edworthy in third, Sorel Lamone in fourth, the Clipper in fifth, and Chris Saxon rounds out your top 6.
So this is the first Sea-Doo win in how long?
2 years, I believe.
And what's your main secret on the Sea-Doo?
You know, just we put in a lot of hard work, and I put a lot of time in the gym, and it's just a combination, you know, good ski and good fitness, and I think that's what helped us win the first moto today.
One of the great things about Aquacross is that it provides a place to race no matter what your experience or level of talent. You might not start out competing with the superstars, but you can go to your local dealer and buy yourself a ski, do Aquacross's safety course, and you can start racing in the amateur class. At the back of the field, you can learn at your own pace. Meanwhile, at the front, men and ladies are battling to win and dreaming of racing with the pros.
Military pilot Anthony Radetich suffered a serious motorcycle accident before he started racing in aquacross.
After my injury, I was pretty depressed, and I couldn't find anything that was fulfilling that need that I wanted, that I had before flying a helicopter, riding motorcycles. And my wife suggested, why don't you try riding a jet ski? And I was like, all right, well, I got an appointment with the doctor here in a couple of days. Let's go check it out. Asked him. He said absolutely not. As soon as we left the doctor's office, let's check on Craigslist if we can find one for sale. Found one, rode it, fell in love, and the rest is history.
As they invert the order from their finishing position, and here we go. The green flag drops, and we are off and away. Headed toward turn number 1. You can see Jason Russo on the gold Geico boat. Ian Tosca in front of Baldwin, and Ian Tosca got stuck. He's hung up in the buoy. Tough break there for Arminio Ian Tosca after a race number 1 win, and that's going to put him toward the back of the pack. And taking a look at the replay right there, that is what your first turn looks like when you're in the pro class in P1 Aquacross, and it is nothing but jet spray here in the Gulf of Mexico. And again, we are side by side, Baldwin and Russo. And I'll tell you, I got to give it to Jason Russo. Russo really not giving up. And looks like he pulled a lanyard. A tough break there for the Chicken Hawk as he was vying for that 5th place position against Brian Baldwin. As MacClugage gets ready to come down that front straightaway on his final lap, he's going to take a look around. And you can see the arms already up in the air. He is excited, super excited. Boat number 46 for the back attack. Let's see the GoPro mounted on his helmet. Race finish, there we go. The checkered flag drops, and it is going to be Chris MacClugage taking a look at the P1 Aquacross USA Championship. Brian Baldwin going to take the win here in Sarasota. Ian Tosca in 2nd, Sorel Lamone, and Chris MacClugage tied for 3rd. Chris Saxon in 4th.
How does it feel to win it all?
It's the best feeling in the world. You know, it took a little while for the train to get rolling, so you know, we got a head of steam, and we just gotta bear down and win.
It's still MacClugage with 154 points. Brian Baldwin with 114. Francis with 110. Arminio Ian Tosca with 91. The Clipper with 66.
So it's been a great weekend of racing here at the Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix. Awesome to see Arminio on the podium as a Sea-Doo rider, and Brian Baldwin took home the overall honors. Finally, someone has beat MacClugage. We are 90 miles south of Miami at the breathtaking Islamorada. This beautiful island paradise is the backdrop to the toughest weekend yet of the Aquacross Pro Enduro Tour. So the riders are getting ready for race 1, and here's Ford star Eric Lagopoulos to tell us how to attack the course.
This is one of the biggest tracks of the year. You know, it's 2 miles long, a ton of room to operate, long front straight, couple tight dog legs, long back straight. So there's a long front straightaway into a pretty hard first turn, and then into a 3 buoy left corner, and then a long back straightaway, and back down the front. So it's a long track. There's a lot of room for us to operate, and hopefully we can get out there and pass some people.
Going back on board with Anthony Radetich as the green flag gets ready to drop again. There we go. We are back and underway. Again, back to Sea-Doo sponsored Anthony Radetich. Radetich hugging that buoy right there, not trying to leave the door open for anybody as he works his way around our 7-turn course. This is the most turns that these racers have seen in Aquacross here in 2017. Taking a look at the leaderboard, it is Sorel Lamone out of France, followed by MacClugage, and then Francis running 1, 2, and 3 right now. Well, a great view of the track here from the race control helicopter. Sorel Lamone looks like he's having some problems. You see some deceleration there, and you got to wonder if he didn't lose a lanyard or something. Anthony Radetich right now, looks like Anthony's got an issue, a steering issue right there for Radetich, as his boat will only go straight. Lamone trying to pull ahead of, you can see side by side, bond rail to bond rail. It doesn't get any better than this. Some great racing here. This is only race number 1. We've got 2 more to go. And MacClugage still your race leader with Francis, Baldwin, and Cyril Lamone all battling it out. That's given MacClugage a little bit of breathing room. The white flag now comes out for the Mac Attack. Chris MacClugage, as he takes a look over, just taking a pounding, nothing but white water, and skipping off the top like a sandstone. As he works his way, the checkered flag out, and it will drop for the Mac Attack. Chris MacClugage taking another P1 Aquacross race victory. As we take a look, it was Chris MacClugage taking the win, followed in by Eric Francis in second, Brian Baldwin third, Cyril Lamone in fourth, the Clipper Mike Klippenstein in fifth, and Chris Saxon, the rookie, in sixth. We are headed south. A great view here once again from the postcard inn, and we are going green for the Ford Grand Prix of the Seas. We are off and away and headed into turn number 1. Lamone with about a 1 second advantage over MacClugage as they head into turn number 1. Again, you're watching the Pro 300 division. These are the top pros in the world, and they certainly do come from around the world here. As we see MacClugage get to the inside. Oh, and MacClugage hooks it. Looked like he had actually taken the lead away from Lamone momentarily, but Lamone able to maintain that lead. Taking a look at it again through the goggles of Chris MacClugage. You can see he hooks it. As we take a look, MacClugage looking to move into the lead here. Brian Baldwin hot on his tail, though, so MacClugage able to get past Lamone. But here comes Baldwin. Baldwin working to the inside as they split the lapper. They'll make a left-hand turn, top north side of the track, and Baldwin working way to the inside. MacClugage to the outside. Baldwin moves into the lead. Not too much time left to go. Less than a half lap to go. As we see the pounding that Baldwin's taken in 30 minutes plus a lap, you know that he's got to be tired. He's got to have spaghetti arms about now. 2 more turns till we head down that front straightaway. It looks like MacClugage trying to work to the inside of Baldwin, and MacClugage steals the lead away from Baldwin. Baldwin not done yet as he crosses through the wake. He'll work to the inside of MacClugage, and looks like he'll have cleaner water than MacClugage. As you see him pulling on MacClugage, will it be too little too late? Wow, what a race. MacClugage on the outside. The checkered flag is out, and who will get there first? It's a drag race. Here comes a scoring boat, and it looked like Chris MacClugage will possibly take the win. Oh my. So MacClugage extends his lead with another 25 points. Baldwin in second, Lamone in third, Francis, Saxon, and Klippenstein round out your top 6.
Cyril Lamone and Brian Baldwin gave Mac a run for his money in race 2. Let's see if there's more of the same in race 3.
And the green flag getting ready to drop as you see the view that MacClugage sees. And here we go, 30 minutes plus a lap. We are off and away and headed into turn number 1. And it looks like a Clipper, Mike Klippenstein. Jason Russo also up there in the mix on the yellow number 77 Geico boat. And it's nothing but pump wash there in turn number 1. Well, as the jet spray clears, it looks like MacClugage and Klippenstein. Baldwin currently running 1, 2, 3 here. Taking a look at Brian Baldwin, and again, you can see the conditions. They do not look that rough when you're watching from anywhere, actually. But when you're on one of these boats, I'll tell you, you are getting beat up. Looks like your race leader coming through the middle of the pack, and that's the Clipper on the outside, splitting a back marker. MacClugage, Klippenstein, Baldwin 1, 2, and 3, but Clipper looking to make the pass. He's getting out the broom and sweeping hard. And Clipper goes into the lead for the first time this weekend. Mike Klippenstein, Chris MacClugage running 1 and 2 with Baldwin back there in third. Now MacClugage looks like he's going to try to steal it back away. Clipper hits a wave. Oh, hits his head. And MacClugage over to retake the lead. But here comes MacClugage again, less than a lap to go. The white flag is flying. And boy, I'll tell you, this kid, it won't be the first time that he has won here in Islamorada. The checkered flag is out. And Chris MacClugage, the Mac Attack, will take the win. All right, your top 6, Chris MacClugage in front, followed by Francis in second, Clipper in third, Saxon in fourth, Ian Tosca in fifth, and Baldwin in sixth.
What I want to really try to do next year is have some type of communication with my pit guys. and to see where my location is on the track. As I start to let up, I think I have a good lead. My vision is really poor, so I think like the guy behind me is just a lapper, but it's actually Clipper coming up or someone else coming up. So I, once they come up and pass me, then I get back on it and pass them back and hopefully win the race.
Well, here's how they stack up after 4 rounds. MacClugage, your points leader with 229. Francis in second with 159. Baldwin in third with 158. Iantosca, Klippenstein, and Saxon round out your top 6.
Welcome to the Windy City in round 5 of the AquaX Pro Enduro Series. Back here in Chicago, we know one thing for sure, it'll be great racing this weekend, just like last time in Islamorada. Great to see Clipper back on the pace and fighting with MacClugage.
As I got used to the boat, Moto 1 wasn't too bad. Moto 2, I actually blew a supercharger and the ribbon plugged off, so the boat kept stalling. So I lost a few spots because the boat stalled. And then in Moto 3, that boat pulled 2 hole shots out of 3 motos.
So the riders are preparing for race 1 of 4 this weekend. To see what they're up against, let's take a hot lap with Sea-Doo's 4th placed rider, Erminio Iantosca.
I think the start will be tough because there's so many, boats next to each other and going that far in that kind of rough conditions. A couple dog legs, and just on the back of the track, it's really blown out and windy. And then on the front also, there's a seawall there, so you got to worry about the water coming back in. You just got to be smart, use my head, and be smooth, and smooth's going to be fast.
So let's head out to the race start and over to our commentator, Mike.
Round 5, Chicago, Illinois. The conditions are unbelievable. Total washboard effect here going on as the waves bounce off the seawall, and the reverb is amazing. 30 laps, or 30 minutes that is, plus 1 lap. We're on board with 5:02 Brian Baldwin. And we go to the front of the pack here as we're looking at Brian Baldwin again on the 5:02 machine. You can see he didn't get the best start in the world as he's trying to make up some ground. C477, Erminio Iantosca getting some big air as he's trying to close that gap. There's Edworthy on 477, Jay Edworthy down the back straightaway. And as they work their way, there you see MacClugage's helmet cam, 49, 50, 54 miles per hour. And a replay there looking at Francis and MacClugage, a big piece of equipment flying off of Francis's machine. Wait, MacClugage trying to close that gap on Francis, and you can see right there, it's just a couple of second lead as that's great footage. MacClugage down in the water. MacClugage's having some issues there as the machine died. I don't know if he pulled his lanyard or not. Eric Francis currently running second in the overall points over Brian Baldwin, who we're on the helmet cam with right now. You'll see MacClugage making the move on Baldwin. Back to the front of the pack, Eric Francis on the 911 machine. Chris MacClugage on the 46 machine pulled his lanyard earlier, and it looks like he's done it again. And down the front straightaway, Eric Francis gonna coast to the win in race number 1 here in Chicago, Illinois. How about it, ladies and gentlemen? Big round of applause for Eric Francis. Let's look at the finishes here. Francis in first, Erminio Iantosca in second, Klippenstein in third, McAttack in fourth, Alzwang in fifth, and Edworthy in sixth. As we look at Erminio Iantosca on the number 94 machine, having some issues. Back to the start here as we have green flag racing. 30 minutes and 1 lap to go as these machines are hopping out of the water on the back straightaway. We're looking at helmet cam footage from Brian Baldwin. MacClugage on 46, Francis on 911, actually riding the 191 machine of his wife. We look at the riders coming off the back straightaway and to the right side of the course, back to the back straightaway now, and on board with Chris MacClugage. MacClugage down in the water, a pulled lanyard. MacClugage having some issues. Now that moves Baldwin into second. Francis, your leader, in Klippenstein, now in third. Chris MacClugage's machine being towed in. as it does look like Eric Francis going to take the win there, and the checkered flag in race number 2. Race finish going to Eric Francis. Brian Baldwin in second, Tommy Allswang in third, Klippenstein in fourth, Saxon in fifth, and Redicic in sixth.
And now the riders are heading out for race 3.
Really gnarly, hard to get speed, hard to get time in. You can't double jump, triple jump just because the water just opened up. It's so unpredictable.
Just gonna have a good start, be smart out there, be smooth, and hopefully put the Sea-Doo up front.
It's still pretty gnarly out there, so I'm just kind of getting a groove and try and stay up on the podium.
We're planning on taking the overall for the weekend. We might not take the moto, but we're going to win the battle.
We go on board with Mike Klippenstein on the 212 machine. Now this race is 30 minutes plus 1 lap, which is a grueling race with these conditions. And you saw right there, Klippenstein was hitting speeds of 70 miles per hour for the overall with the point stands. MacClugage had a huge lead, but so far, Francis has gotten the best of MacClugage in races 1 and 2. Your leader, MacClugage on the 46, Francis on 911, and Baldwin on 502, running out your top 3. Man on a mission, knows where he is. He's way out in front on this one. And Chris MacClugage gonna cross the finish line, picking up the win here in race number 3. Chris MacClugage in first, Eric Francis in second, Brian Baldwin in third, Arminio Iantoskis in fourth, Mike Klippenstein in fifth, Tommy Allswang in sixth of this one. A green flag race and unbelievable racing conditions. Chris MacClugage battling it out as we see his helmet cam there. Eric Francis sneaking in. And look at MacClugage shot out of a cannon as he comes down that back straightaway and pulls a killer hole shot. MacClugage currently pulling that hole shot as we go to the camera view of Brian Baldwin, 502 on his Yamaha. Round 5 of the series as MacClugage on 46, your leader, 911, Francis in second, 502, Baldwin currently running in that third position. Looking back, checking over his shoulder, MacClugage slowing things down, save the machine, save your body, and this one is in the books. Chris MacClugage picking up the win here in race number 4. Here we have it, points after the final race. Eric Francis in first, MacClugage in second, Baldwin in third, Allswang in fourth, Klippenstein in fifth, and Chris Saxon in sixth.
We took some bumps and bruises through the weekend, and it paid its toll, and we had to kind of back it off a little bit, stay smart, and we took a couple seconds today on Sunday, but ended up with the overall, and I'm really happy with that.
So after the 5th round, your overall leader, Chris MacClugage, Eric Francis in second, Brian Baldwin in third, Arminio Iantoskis in fourth, Mike Klippenstein in fifth, and Chris Saxon in sixth position.
So a total of 2 wins for Francis and 2 for MacClugage as well, but it'll be Francis that takes the overall. AquaX has moved from the stunning backdrop of downtown Chicago and round 5 of the Pro Enduro Tour to Florida and the gorgeous beaches of Fort Lauderdale for the 6th and final round of the series. But the big news is our champ Mac has an injury. Can he still make it happen?
Going into this weekend, I have a fractured right fibia, which is going to put a little bit of a chink in my chain.
Take a look at the course guide. The course will run from north to south, approximately 1.25 miles to 1.5 miles in length, and we're looking at 10 turns this weekend. Race number 1 of 3 for the weekend. Getting ready to go. Here's the green flag comes out, 30 minutes plus a lap, and it is time to do battle here in Fort Lauderdale. As we go on board with MacClugage, oh no, MacClugage loses his lanyard in turn number 1, and that is no way to start out the race for the Broward Motorsports pilot. Taking a look out, looks like we had a rider lose a lanyard out there as Chris MacClugage works his way back into this race here. Right now, it's Rias, Klippenstein, and Edworthy, 1, 2, and 3. As the course marshal's given a little direction to some of our back markers there, and you can see a great battle ensuing between Jay Edworthy and Eric Francis, and that is your battle for 3rd place position right now. as he is able to goose that throttle and scored ahead of Edworthy. Francis right now, and a great battle going on between those two as we take a look. Another battle here between MacClugage and Clipper, and they are close as they come up this turn here at the chicane. MacClugage able to go by. Oh, no! They make contact. MacClugage gets the worst of that. MacClugage in the water, swimming feverishly to get back to that boat. And let's take a look at the replay here, and boom! There we go. MacClugage gets spun around, and tough break for Mac, and good news for Clipper, though. Clipper able to stay on. So we're looking at Rios out in front right now. Eric Francis, the Eagle, in second, and the Clipper. Mike Klippenstein out of Canada, currently running in the third spot. Going on board with Francis. What a battle. Now Baldwin able to get past Clipper. So Rios, Francis, Baldwin, 1, 2, and 3 right now. And there he goes, past Baldwin. So MacClugage gets back up onto his boat after getting tossed, back up into third place position. Rios, Francis, Baldwin, 1, 2, and 3 as the checkered flag gets ready to fall here for the first time in Fort Lauderdale this weekend. The checkered flag down, and it is the fighter, Nicholas Rios. It's Nicholas Rios, Eric Francis, Chris MacClugage, your top 3, followed by Baldwin, Klippenstein, and the top Sea-Doo competitor, Erminio Iantosca. Again, on board with Iantosca, and you can see, I believe that is Mike Klippenstein flanked just to his left, and Klippenstein been getting some great starts here this weekend on some borrowed property. It's Klippenstein, Legopoulos, Francis, 1, 2, and 3 right now. And again, you got Klippenstein on the blue and white boat on the inside, and that was Legopoulos, Eric Francis, as we go back on board with Francis, and you can see Klippenstein just back off to his left, right behind him. So Francis advancing up into that first place position, and you can see a great battle there going on between Clipper and Iantosca. Iantosca trying to work an inside line, and he's going to goose that throttle. That's Clipper on the inside, Iantosca on the outside. And here comes Francis, and I can tell this kid is super stoked as the arm pump comes up in the air. The checkered flag is out, and Francis will take the win here in race number 2. And the Mac Attack knows that he has just sewn up another AquaX title 2 times in a row now for the Mac Attack. Taking a look at this individual race, we got Eric Francis up in front, Rios in second, Mac in third, Iantosca in fourth, Baldwin in fifth, and Clipper in sixth.
And now it's time for the last race of the final round of the season.
Race number 3 for your Pro AquaX Enduro. Racers coming out to brave the conditions down here in Fort Lauderdale. Boat number 502 on board with him. That is Brian Baldwin coming all the way down from North Carolina. MacClugage did not need to race this race because he's already clinched the overall championship. So Snyder enjoying what may have been a hole shot out there as we go back on board with Brian Baldwin, and you can see nothing but pump wash in front of him. Klippenstein, Rios, and Baldwin 1, 2, and 3. Looks like Francis has got a problem. Looks like there could be a technical issue. I believe he lost his lanyard there. And we'll see if he can get refired and join the race once again. Look at this. Baldwin on the inside, Rios on the outside. Baldwin will have position as they come into that turn. And it looks like Baldwin going to steal a position away from Rios. And Eric Francis looks like he's got the boat refired, but it doesn't sound like he's running on all cylinders. So Baldwin coming up. He'll hit our Ford Marshmallow buoy out there, get ready to come into the front straightaway. And Brian Baldwin from North Carolina has come down south of the Mason-Dixon line, and it looks like he's going to be taking home some hardware. Well, for the Fort Lauderdale event, it was Eric Francis getting on top of the box, followed by Mike Klippenstein in second, Rios in third, Iantosca, Baldwin, and MacClugage rounding out your top 6.
It's not the way we want to do it. We didn't come away with the overall for the year, but we took the win for the day. And I can't be much happier than that. I mean, overall, it's been a great season.
Let's take a look at the overall points championship here for AquaX. It was MacClugage in front, Francis in second, Baldwin, Klippenstein, Iantosca, and Saxon rounding out your top 6. Let's go down and talk to the champ.
You know, I think when the going gets tough, I know how to make it happen, and I just, I think I know I have a great group of people behind me, from my nephew Mitchell to everybody in between. It's just a great group of people, and I'm really thankful. And I think just having the family support here too with the last race, it just helps you dig down and really, you know, come out and show what a true champion is.
So another great weekend of P1 AquaX racing here in Fort Lauderdale. Francis takes the weekend, but a great job by injured MacClugage, who secures his position as the reigning national champion for 2017. That's it for this season, but we'll see you next year.